I'm here with Coach Mick Cronin of the Cincinnati Bearcats. Now, last year was really a banner year for you guys during the regular season. You're picked to finish second this year. Do you guys feel a little disrespected not being the number one team here?
Yeah, we really don't talk about stuff like that. Try to keep my guys focused on what they got to do to become a better player and what we need to do to win games. So in my mind, we're picked last. That's how I look at things, and we got to get better every day. I think if that's your mindset, that you have to recruit better, you have to coach better. I want my players to think that they need to improve and that our team is not good enough. And therefore, you'll be driven to get better. And you have to have that mindset. Rick Pitino used to always call it the PhD, poor, hungry, and driven. You stay poor, hungry, and driven, you got a chance to improve, and you're in the right mindset. So, I think being picked second is great, I guess. I don't know. But, if you're at our practice every day, you'd think this guy thinks his team's terrible because we try to work really hard to get better.
You talk about working hard in practice and getting better every day. A lot of times, in order to get that next level, you need to lean on leadership on your team. Who are some of the players you're looking forward to in terms of leading your team into the season?
Well, I think you can't be a driven team to get better if your best player and your oldest players don't work hard. They have to have that mindset. I've been fortunate. Kyle Washington and Gary Clark had that mindset as my seniors last year. Justin Jennifer and Kane Broom have to be that way for us this year, as well as Jaron Cumberland, who's probably our best player. I got to get better every day. No matter, we're the oldest guys, but we can't rest. Jaron Cumberland, I'm the best guy. They have to be hungrier than their teammates, and then their teammates will follow. We believe in that. That's our culture. And I think that's the key to winning. That's leadership. Because you're either leading guys to work hard or you're telling guys that's okay to rest. So, our leadership of our team has to make sure that we stay hungry.
Now, I talked about how you guys had a really great year last year. You guys have really been really one of the top programs for the last 3 or 4 years now. But you're still trying to kind of crack that glass ceiling in March. What are the changes maybe you're doing this offseason or anything that you're trying to do to get to more success in the big dance?
All you can do is recruit. Recruiting's the only thing that can change stuff like that. I think that our game is the only crazy game in basketball where that one and done, anything can happen. You're one and out on a neutral floor. And March has been a puzzle for us here of late. We've had obviously a tough loss last year, but all you can do is keep coming back. You just got to keep banging at the door. Eventually, you'll knock it down, and your resolve to knock the door down is the key, and that starts with me as a coach. But strategically, there's not a whole lot more. You can make more shots, and we haven't carried our defense with us. Our last 2 losses in the NCAA tournament that you mentioned, we gave up over 70 points. We don't ever give up over 70 points. So that's really our calling card is what's let us down the last couple of years in the NCAA tournament.
You talked about Coach Pitino's influence. Has he been someone that's been at practice to help you guys? It's kind of has he taught you anything in terms of going into the season?
Well, it's been good to get. I worked for Coach Pitino 01-02, so it's been good for me that his forced retirement here. He's not busy, so I can spend more time with him. I can have him come in and freshen up, so to speak, on some of the things that he had taught me years ago. It's always, as a coach, I think again, I got to have a PhD. I got to stay poor, hungry, and driven. And if I can get, so we've had multiple guys visit our team here this fall. Ralph Willard, who's a mentor of mine as well, really the architect of our defense. And he's a former head coach at Pitt, Holy Cross in Western Kentucky. And then also have Coach Pitino in and gone down to his house, spent some time with him. Just try anything you can do to get an edge in this coaching game, you got to do it.
And you talked about Pitino. Of course, the FBI situation has been a sad situation in college basketball. Has it changed any approach with you, or have you talked to other coaches about how they're approaching things now that things are a little rocky?
No, not really. No, I think some of that stuff that went on was mind-boggling. And I live in a world of I get my little 3- and 4-star recruits most of the time. So a lot of that's for the 5-star guy. that tend to get those guys. Those guys should be allowed to go pro early. Them kids, if it shouldn't even be allowed to. The NBA shouldn't have been allowed to put one and done in. It's un-American. Guys you can go to war at 18 and die for your country, but you can't play basketball. It's ridiculous. So a lot of those problems come from that rule. So if kids don't want to be amateurs and their families are in need and they don't want them to be amateurs and follow those guidelines, and they want to start having agents and financial people at age 15, that's fine. Let them. But you can't force them now. You can't have a system trying to force them into an amateur environment for a year. That's the problem. And that needs to go away, and it'll eliminate a lot of the problems.